Sally Edwards, and welcome back to December Daily. This is days 24 and 25. I finish up and complete my project with a story from the 25th. That's my personal preference. Some people go longer, they start earlier. It's all up to you. I find that this is just enough for me and the way that I like to approach this project. As you're gonna see here in a minute, I'm working with full page photos for the last couple of days. Photo of the cat by the tree. This is a tree that I created in the product play workshop, and on the back I'm gonna be doing journaling. I kept the template that I had used to cut out the tree, so I'm going to be able to put these right back on there with words on top of them. So I'm going to handwrite something on there. I don't know exactly what that's going to be yet. So this is 24 going into 25. I've got a picture with my feet there by the presents. I also did the back of this one is going to have more of kind of the story of our day, or a little bit of what happened once the kids all came. I might reprint that in black and white. And then I also want to end up the album with this, what I want to remember about this season. So 10 things I want to remember about this past December, and this will kind of be the end, or not kind of, it will be the end of my album. I'm considering reprinting this picture in black and white. I think I just said that, but I may go take a look at that. And then I'll be adding embellishments on here. Another thing I wanted to show you that something that I did a couple days ago was I went through and I picked one photo for each day from day 1 through day 25. I printed them, they're like 0.5, so ½ an inch little squares, and I cut them out. I just gave them a white border. I cropped them in Photoshop, printed them all out together, and then was able to cut them out. So this is going to be going into the beginning of my album back on the first page, and I'll have pictures of that in my post. So I think I'm going to reprint that photo. I'm going to start the process of drawing journaling on there, and I'll show you how it goes. All right, so a lot of this process here for this last day was adhering things. So adhering the photos back to back, using the hole punch, that kind of stuff to get it all set in the right place. So the 6-hole punch again. One of the things that I really love is just finishing this. I think for me, especially since I'm working on it every day, I'm always ready by the end to be done. But it doesn't make me like the project any less. It just really makes me ready to do simple things, especially at the end, because I know that done is better than anything else. And I think that is a big piece of it for me. So just going through the process, getting those holes punched, getting that in there. In this case, because I kind of knew where everything was going to go, it was doing those things first and then embellishing. So here I am. I took one of the main cards, 3x4 cards from the main kit that says "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," and I punched that with my circle punch there, which I believe is probably a 1.5, maybe 1.75 inch punch. Punch that out, and then I was looking for a couple, little something to add to the side of it. So I'm using the gold foil number stickers on top of one of the puffy hearts to put the number 24 on there, and then add that just as another little embellishment onto the circle. My journaling for day 24 is going to be on the back of that tree that you see that's on the page next to it. The tree is from the Product Play 2 workshop. It's on transparency. It's got a bunch of different textures, and I kept all of those pieces that were the template. And as I was doing this, as I was laying it out, I recognized that I was missing one of them. And so you'll see what I do to fix that here in a minute as I laid it back down and then got a pen to go ahead and write the journaling. But what I decided to do for the one spot that I didn't have anymore, I took a tag. I had this tag that was in my album originally for my foundation pages that I didn't decide to use, and I'm just kind of cutting it to size there and trying to get it close enough, but really not worrying about whether it was perfect. But that helped me just have something to cover up that one space. I used a couple more of the gold foil number stickers that were in the main kit to add that to the top of the tree, and then I'm going to be handwriting the rest of the journaling. The journaling that I did do is super simple and was just basically about it being very quiet here on New Year's Eve, what Aaron and I did, which included more wrapping and cooking. I really enjoy cooking often on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. It's one of my favorite times of the year to either make new recipes, try something new, or bring out some of our old favorites. Like I prepped twice baked potatoes, I made a cake. I really enjoy that part of it. So just writing that. And then the other thing that we did once we had everything ready is we started watching the show called The Haunting of Hill House, which is not Christmas related at all, but we both really enjoyed it. It's scary. At first I didn't want to watch it. Then Katie told me that it was not terrible. So it's still scary, but it's good. We're about halfway through that. So I'm just writing those things, handwriting them, not worrying about it looking perfect at all, just getting that story written down really of kind of the basics of our day, an overview of what we did on that day. Again, it doesn't have to be, anything super deep or long or comprehensive. It's just a look at what we did on that day. That one, the one I just put down, ended up being, I did it backwards, like it should have been on the other side, would have made it fit exactly, which I was trying to get them to do that, but I'm leaving it and I think it's just fine anyway. So I really like how this turned out. I love the idea of using this as a template first for those other pieces that are on that one side and then saving it and having that available to me to use when I actually got to the point this month where I wanted to use it. And I liked saving that for the 24th too. So for Christmas Day, moving on into Christmas Day, I took one photo here that is my feet standing with a bunch of the presents and added a chipboard that says Merry Christmas. And then I also added, there were some acrylic stars that I liked the shape of those. There's actually one on the other side of that texture tree, but I'm just using rolling adhesive to add those on there. I added 3 of those onto that day. And then my journaling is on the back side. So journaling got added with this photo, printed together in Photoshop. I'm adding one of the oval chipboard pieces from the Be Merry and Celebrate chipboard set onto that page there. And I'm pretty much leaving that way on that page with the journaling and the photo. So this is a good example of keeping it super simple here at the end. And not feeling like you need to reinvent the wheel or make something really fancy. And I think for me, this story is way more about the month than it is about whatever exactly happens on Christmas Day. And that's how I felt about this project for a long time. So you saw that I added the remember arrow there on the back of that die cut page. The die cut page was included as part of as a download in the Product Play 2 workshop. So I did that. I wrote all of the different things that I wanted to remember from the season on that top 10 page. There you can see that closer in the photos on my blog post. And then I did decide to print one more photo for the last page and added that plastic word magic and a word phrase sticker and a chipboard sticker on top there. So just kind of wrapping it up in the end. I didn't feel like I needed to say any more of the story, but just having something on that last page, which there have been years when I didn't do that, but I was happy to have that in there as well. So please let me know if you have any more questions about this project, about the whole month, any of those sorts of things. I'm happy to answer them for you. And as for me, I am going to move on to the next.